Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be there. I am Eric Divos. I am the president of the company called GiPA. GiPA is a market intelligence company. So what we are doing is that we are making some survey to analyze the market and so on. I am there to replace our local director because he got a baby a few days ago. So at the last minute, I decided to replace him. So I am not perfect. I am a French guy. So sorry and apologize for my accent and so on. Thank you very much.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Alistair Jeff. I'm the commercial director at RTC Automotive Solutions. I've been in the business for a couple of years, but the business itself has been around for 22 years. We specialize in the after-sales area and also in digital insights and data. So that's who we are as a business. I'm really looking forward to some of the Q&A sessions today and hearing from my colleague here at GiPA on some of the data and the insights and the direction that the industry is taking in, because we're in a very, very interesting time. And we need to start thinking a little bit differently and to use some of the data that we've got. We're going to kick off firstly with just a little bit of a video explanation about RTC, our business, and then we'll move back to Eric.
Great.
At REALtime Communications, we help automotive retailers to maximize customer lifetime value. With over 20 years' experience, we deliver a range of fully integrated products and services that streamline your operations and support your journey to a digital future. REALtime Communications will transform your working practices from digitizing traditional paper-based processes to streamlining existing ways of working, enhancing how you interact both with customers and your team. We know every retailer is different, and we work with you to understand how you operate in order to configure our solutions, ensuring we meet your needs to set you on your path to going fully digital. We can implement some or all of our solutions, depending on how you want to work. Our solutions are designed to support the whole after-sales customer lifecycle, including online service booking, digital and remote check-in and check-out, workshop management, and EVHC, through to retention and digital document storage, all designed to streamline processes and increase performance. All this is tracked with detailed reporting throughout, giving you ultimate visibility and control. Our after-sales solutions are fully integrated with KeyLoop Rev8 and Drive DMS, updating in real time as a certified KeyLoop partner. We can check, create, and update customer records directly from our system, meaning there is no need to double key. Having full connectivity to the DMS allows real-time access, making identifying customers, logging work a much smoother process. The outcome is increased efficiency, time and cost savings, and improvements to customer satisfaction, all which build real lifetime value for you and your customers. Get in touch today to find out more at info@rtcauto.co.uk.
Thank you. So again, I am back to provide you few information concerning the situation today at European level, with a focus, of course, concerning the UK. Just to inform you about who we are and what we represent. We are a market intelligence company based in Europe, created in Europe, existing since more than 35 years in Europe, more in Asia, in Latin America, in North and South of Africa. And we are doing some syndicated survey and some ad hoc and bespoke project. With the syndicated survey, we manage the same program in all the countries with the same methodology. So we are really able to compare Apple with Apple, and it's very useful for a lot of international companies. So we are today to speak about the UK and more about Europe. We are more or less in this room all involved in the after sales. And when you are involved in the automotive after sales, you are linked with the vehicles on the road. So our activity is linked with how many, is influenced by how many vehicles are every day, every month, every year, how many new vehicles we have on the road. And the situation is not so good, because as you can see on this map, if you compare situation end of September with end of September 2019, means before the crisis. The comparison is not with last year, but with 2019. You can see that car sales is not, the performance is really not good. It's quite similar in 4 out of 5 countries in the Western Europe, with 33%, one third less in the UK, the same value in Italy, more or less the same level at car registration level in France and in Germany, minus 32. And worse in Spain with minus 38%. So the consequence of this is not good for the car manufacturer network, because they are mainly involved in the after sales of the very young car park during the warranty period. When you have one third less car registration, it's the year after the potential of car to maintain who is lower. So it's already a thing who affect a lot. The good news, because we have some bad news, some good news. The good news is that in all our survey, we measure that the car park size remains stable. Sometimes increase a little bit, despite the fact that we have a very strong drop in the car registration. So the car park size, the potential of the vehicles that we need to maintain, remain more or less the same. Why? Because driver keep the vehicle longer. So the consequence with less new vehicle registered, but car are owned longer by the driver, is that we have an increase of the age of the car park. Already today, if you, we was in 2019 at less than 8 years old in average in the UK. We are already today at 9 years old, and our forecast for the next 2 years is that we will be closer than ever to 10 years old in the UK, with 9.5 years old in average. So structurally, it's a strong consequence for us, because the car park is older, and we know in our survey that depending the age of the car park, the service provider you frequent is not the same. One consequence we can have if we want, because we are involved in after sales, is the older car park means more vehicle concerned by the MOT test. And the rate of failure of MOT tests will increase if we compare with what will be the situation, what was the situation in the past. You can see there that even if you take the car park who is concerned by the MOT test, more than 3 years old, it will be more than 30% of the vehicles who will be concerned. And if we take all the car park, the whole car park in the UK, it's more than 1/3 of vehicles with the MOT test who will have at least one failure. So it's a good opportunity to sell some labor, to sell some parts. So it's one opportunity that you can have at this level. To provide you more insight concerning the challenge that we have today, we can speak about 4 different challenges today. The first one could be concerning the use of the car. The car park become older. We already discussed about this point. But what is the use of the car? We have also one thing to face is the talent shortage. Not only in the UK, it's also more or less the same thing in a lot of countries in Europe. We need to face also some issue with the parts shortage. And also, last but not least, it's an incredible disruption that we have today, is the arrival of not hybrid vehicles, BEV, battery electric vehicles, who also generate a lot of changes at maintenance level. So, if we can go quickly through these 4 points, I think it will be very interesting. The first point that we can discuss is the mileage recovery. At this level, it's more or less a good news, because despite the fact of the pandemic, of the lockdown and so on, what we measure in GiPA in the UK is that the mileage is only 5% less than 2019. So after a drop during the lockdown, more or less the UK driver recovered more or less the mileage that we measured in the past in 2019. It's more or less the same situation in the Western Europe, that you can see in average is 1%. It's more or less the same value in Latin America, it's minus 3%. So, globally speaking, it's a good news, because less car registration is bad for the dealer, but it's good for people involved and the teams involved in the after sales. And additionally, older car park, so more maintenance, and more maintenance if the driver are using the car. And what we saw there is that drivers are using the car more or less at the same level as previously. One more thing that we need to face is the talent shortage. We measure this fact in GiPA, in our regular survey, updated every year, and we can see what we can see there is that we have a significant part of players, 36%, who told us, I have some issue to fill in vacancies. And on this population who need to fill in vacancies, 71% have an issue. This is in the last survey we did in the UK. This morning, just this morning, I had a look. I come from Paris this morning. A newspaper specialized in automotive after-sale in France, the first page was this one. 82% of the French repairers have an issue concerning filling vacancies. So it's not only the UK, it's a competition. And at this level, of course, we need to search and to find and to convince some colleagues to join the team. The first thing is already to be loyal with the team, to get the loyalty of the current team we have. So it's really something that we need to take care, make our team loyal to our company, be sure that we have all the elements to keep them on board, and if really we are able to maintain the loyalty of the current team, probably that the package could be attractive on the market for some potential player. This is one, it was the second point. The third point we discussed was concerning the parts shortage. And concerning the parts shortage, this is this slide. You can see that more or less at a very high level, independent medical garage, AM player, or car manufacturer dealer declare a very high rate of part delivery issue. So it's, of course, a big consequence linked with the pandemic and with the logistic of different products not produced in the UK, not produced in Europe, but sometimes produced in the east part, in Turkey, more in the east or in Asia. So we have a lot of issues at this level, and also some issue linked with the cost of the shipment. To give you an idea, the cost for one container before the pandemic was more or less $1,000. $1,000 to send by shipment a container from Shanghai to Europe. Do you know what is the price today? Do you have an idea? The price moved to 4,000, 7,000, 12,000. I saw some player who pay for one container $20,000. Today it's going back. It's more or less closer 4,000. But keep in mind that the logistic is crazy. And of course, a lot of players try to face this difficulty. And a lot of players, car manufacturers, parts manufacturers, are thinking about relocalization, reinstall in Europe, in different countries, the production for parts to avoid the fact that we have so much issue at the last level in front of the client. Because who declare to the client that you can't repair the vehicles? Okay, you receive the brake pad, but the brake discs are missing. You can deliver the car. So you need all the delivery to make the clients happy. So it's really a big issue, and it's not easy to solve this at a service provider level, but we need to take this in consideration because it's influence also the price of the parts. Because when you have some shipments who are much more expensive, of course, it impacts the price of the parts for the client. This was the third point. The last point, the fourth point, is linked with the challenge we have today in Europe. Because you know that we fixed the deadline to deliver ICE vehicles, internal combustion engine vehicles. So depending the country, more or less, it could be in 2035 in Europe. And already today, a lot of drivers are switching the ICE engine to hybrid or BEV, full electric vehicles. And this is a challenge for the service provider. It's a real challenge for us. Because already today, if we group together hybrid vehicles and BEV vehicles, it's in the UK a car park who is 2.7 years old. And fortunately today, for the car manufacturer network, it's quite loyal to the car dealer network. What we can see today is that 84% of the workshop entry of the hybrid vehicles and BEV vehicles are done in the car manufacturer network. It's for the time being a good opportunity to attract some drivers. Why? Because they think when you own a BEV vehicle, you think, okay, we need to be to bring the car to a specialist. We need to be sure that the technician have the correct tools to take care about the vehicles, and we need people want to be sure that the team have also the skills to maintain correctly the vehicles. So for the time being, it's a good opportunity for the car manufacturer network. But it's really important to get the loyalty of the driver, because the car manufacturer network already have pain because very few new car sales, and the sales who are done with a new technology. This new technology is today an advantage for the OE dealer, but don't think that it will be like that for a long term, because independent aftermarket players are working a lot to prepare the equipment, the training, the marketing offer to attract these vehicles. So in a lot of cases, I discuss with some people who tell me, yeah, but people today don't buy a car, they buy a mobility. But in fact, even if you have a leasing and so on, in a lot of cases today, the user of the car is still the decision maker to maintain the car. So in a lot of cases, it's a risk that very soon after the warranty period, even with a BEV, the car driver, the decision maker, will select a qualitative alternative offer. And we need to have a view at long term. It's, I suppose, it's the reason why you are there today. And BEV is a challenge because it's so new. In GiPA, we have one laboratory to know what will happen in the future with the BEV. And the laboratory is a big laboratory because our laboratory is a country. The country that we can analyze is the Norway. Norway is an incredible country in the world with the rate of equipment of BEV for different reasons. Including some tax advantages and so on and so on. We are doing regularly some survey in Norway, and to be clear, the business change when you need to maintain a BEV. It changed for the driver, it changed also for the service provider. And of course, all the parts linked with the ICE engine disappear. Totally. So no plug, no air filter, no oil filter, and so on. No turbocharger, blah, blah. All these family are finished, disappeared. No parts, no turnover, no margin, no labor to change the parts. Finished. The good thing is that we have some parts who have more or less no impact linked with the engine, like the body repair, the lighting, and so on. And we have, fortunately, some parts that we measure in the Norway who have a higher consumption, like tire and suspension and steering and suspension parts. But at the end, what is the result? What is the result? Is it when we balance the parts with a higher consumption and the parts with a lower consumption? Who wins? Today we know with some figures, with some precise value. Because who is the winner today? It's clearly the driver. Of course, the car is more expensive. So you need to spare a lot with the maintenance before balance with the cost and the cost, buying the car and the maintenance. But if we exclude the value of the vehicles, and if we have a look only about the maintenance of the BEV, look at the average value spent for the maintenance, when you compare an ICE with a BEV, is 39% less. 40% money less spent by the driver when you have a BEV in comparison with an ICE. So it's not nothing. Nobody in this room can blind eyes, cannot consider this fact, because we need to anticipate. And now we will have an acceleration of the change, because usually we have a very big inertia of the driven car park. But now we have the deadline to stop the commercialization, the sale of the ICE. So the inertia of the driven car park will be reduced by the fact that the government in Europe asked to the car manufacturer to increase a lot the BEV sales. At workshop level, frequentation is also lower, because you can see that it's 16% less workshop entry per car. So it's something that we need to consider. And even if the cake could be smaller in volume and in value, it's not necessary to kill yourself today. What we need is to battle, is to fight with the competitor. So for this reason, in this, with my colleague and in the operational excellence theater, we need to find what is the best means to get the perfect customer journey. And what we measure in the GiPA UK survey is that mainly drivers who want, what are the needs they have? They mainly want to 75%, 3/4 of the workshop entry are done for standard maintenance, tire, and prepare and repair before or after the MOT test. So already all service providers need to be perfect on this, in these three domains. If you don't have the correct offer at price, at a tire level, for example, you will lose a lot. So be attractive for at least global maintenance, tire, and MOT test. We identified a lot that information from the driver is really linked with the discussion they have with the preferred repairer. So important also to take in consideration. The online research is not nothing. 17% of drivers do online research for workshop. And 6% of the drivers use the information collected on the internet to negotiate the price with you. So it means that your team need to be prepared, because some people will arrive, okay, but with this competitor, the price is like that. What are you doing? You will have only one chance to keep it. One chance. So you need to be prepared to negotiate, because they will have some written commitments like this. However, the booking of the maintenance is mainly done by phone. It's look a little bit strange, because all of us have internet all the time, night and day sometimes. Some people sleep with the device, are linked even during the night with the internet. So it's a little bit strange, but when we ask to the driver, but why are you booking by phone? Mainly because they want to fix some detail concerning the booking, the precise time they need to arrive, be sure that all the details that they will add to the maintenance will be fixed, and so on. So they are very happy to still be loyal to the one-to-one conversation. They are not too much worried about the parts brand. Only 15% know what type of brand will be fitted in the car. And close 1/3 got the information after the job is done. So one thing, it's a little bit small for you, but don't worry, don't search the glasses, I will tell you what is written there. We can see there that 44% could be, of the driver in the UK, could be interested in the drop-off service. 40% more close value for pickup service. And 1/3 of the UK driver population is interested in mobile servicing. At digital service, despite the fact that only 7% are doing today online booking, today we have 30% who declare that they would like to book online. It means that at any hour, during the weekend, during the night, if they want. So important to be sure that your online booking service is perfect, that you have a team who call back the client after he book online to verify all the detail, to balance with the fact that they use a lot the mobile phone today. And at the end of the journey, of the customer journey, it's important to measure what is the recommendation rate. And we can see there that the winner at recommendation rate today is the independent medical garage, with the score of 74 points. This is important. The number two, apologize for me. Number one is a tire specialist. The number two is an independent medical garage. And then we have the auto center, and only arrives the OE dealer. So it means that we can tell, oh, I represent the car manufacturer, so I have nothing to do. No. All team, all dealer, all people, receptionist or worker need to consider the effect and the role concerning the attractiveness of the workshop and the global satisfaction of the drivers. So this is few insights. Of course, we have a limited time to discuss today. So up, you can see there the picture of the father, Quentin. Apologize again, he's not there. But with Alistair, we are at your disposal if you have any questions. And if you are interested in the update of the 2023 Norway survey concerning electric vehicles, it will be available in the following months. That's it. We're on time, Alistair, or not?
Yes, I think we're good on time.
Perfect.
I'll reiterate just a couple of points before we open to questions that Eric raised, just from the UK perspective. So with RTC, we work with just over 900 UK retailers, franchise retailers in their after-sales departments. First 6 months of this year, the cheapest car going through the workshop was electric vehicles. 45% less than internal combustion engine petrol vehicles, which themselves were about 20% less than diesel, and those were about 20% less than hybrids. So hybrids are the most expensive cars from our 900 retailers in the UK. So electric is making an awful lot of difference. How many retailers, those are retailers in the audience, do you have the capability to check the battery of a battery electric vehicle or a hybrid vehicle? Picking up on Eric's point, if you don't, then are you a professional? As far as the retailer is, as far as the consumer is concerned. I think there's a question from the lady? No? No, sorry. I think sort of picking up on some of these points as well, we often as in the industry and manufacturers talk about this a lot, about owning the customer. So who owns the customer? The retailer says, oh, I own the customer. The manufacturer says, I own the customer. Who owns the customer? The customer. The journey starts with what the customer wants. We need to build process, as Eric was saying, and as Eric's research and his team are showing, we need to build processes that the customer can engage in at the point the customer wants to engage. If the customer wants to use online booking, not forgetting that we're looking at millennials and Gen Z, they're going to want to do it through their phone or their app. So on my journey up here yesterday, true story, I had a flat tire last night on the M40. Pulled off the M40, I'm in a Tesla. Guess what? Teslas don't come with spare wheels. Thanks, Elon. Really useful. So what do? Well, I've got Tesla assistants. I'm in a Tesla. It's a nice modern battery electric vehicle. So guess what? There's a button on the dashboard. I press for the phone number. It rings. Less than 2 rings. Phone's answered. And it's a human being, not an answer phone. And the human being says, hello, sir. I can see you've broken down. In fact, the information is telling us that your car has a flat tire. Could I just check your name? I give my name. Could I just check your registration? Your registration. That's correct, sir. How would you like us to help you? I didn't say anything. They did all of that for me. There aren't many retailers that we come across, other than some of our own customers, that have full online booking. And when I mean online booking, it's not an email form that just goes to the retailer. So somebody to fill in, ring the customer back up and say, sorry, we've not got a loan car that day, and we can't do that day, we're too busy because we need to do an MOT at the same time. You need to have online booking that goes directly into your workshop management, that takes that customer out of that process. Yeah, if they want a loan car, they want a loan car. What about online check-in? There's lots of businesses we do online check-in. There are other businesses like CheckVic that we work with. There are other businesses out there that do online check-in and key boxes, etc. We started doing online check-in because of the pandemic. It was a change that was forced upon us, but actually it's worked quite well. In First 6 months of this year, we've sent 1.8 million emails around check-in to the customer. 55% of customers actually open those emails or those text messages to look to check in, and of that 55%, 78% subsequently actually checked the vehicle in. Funny, Eric's figures are showing 7% of people are actually interested in doing it. Well, it's a lot more than that, but we're not giving them the option. They're not aware of the option. That's what we're not doing. So whether you use RTC services or other great companies that are out there, you work with your DMS partner, you work with your web agency, it's not a case of what you want or what's the easiest for you, it's what your customer wants. They own their data, they own the rights to their data, and everything's changing with the way that battery electric vehicles work, everything that Eric has just shown you. Stats in other countries are the same in the UK. In fact, they're probably worse because we're quite good at engaging with electric vehicles. Maybe not quite as good as Norway, but we're pretty good at it. Any questions? I realise I'm talking quite a lot. Anybody going to go back afterwards and do something different?
What is important is to leave this room with a warrior spirit. It's the future is very challenging, but we have the elements to fight and to be the winner. In the future, despite the fact that the market will change a lot, we will have some winner and some loser. So it's really necessary to anticipate.
There's definitely going to be winners and losers. I'm going to challenge you on the challenge. I'm going to say it's exciting because it's an opportunity to change things. We all use phones ourselves, whether you use Next. What a great service online Next is to deliver the same day or the next day. You don't like it, you just send it back. But it works, and it works every day. Why? Because they work hard at it to get the process to work. Guess what? It wasn't their process. They didn't like it. They got other people to help them. But funnily enough, it was the process that the customer wanted. Stop being retailers. Stop being automotive professionals. Be consumers. How do you want to be treated? I think that's exciting.
Great.
I'll repeat, any questions? Stunned silence.
Means that we were very clear. Thank you very much for everybody.
Thank you very much.
We can applaud you. Thank you very much.